Glad to see everybody's got the same spirit as Bike Week. A lot of carrying on, a lot of laughing. That's always a good thing.
A lot of us are on a different time still.
Take another hour to catch up with your church. I'd like to just welcome all of you today for the Sunday service. Thanks for coming out and bringing the bikes and remembering the time change. Somebody asked me if I ever forget it, and I got to set up 3 facilities worth of time clocks for the Utilities Commission to have all their clocks changed every time they do this. So no, I never forget it.
Next year after you retire.
That's what I said. In 10 months, I'll be forgiven. I'd like to just ask everybody to silence their cell phones unless they're medical or law enforcement personnel. We have cold drinks in the fridge, hot drinks on the table, some sweets back there. Help yourself to any of them at any time. Bathrooms are down the hall, quick right, quick left. Only time we ask you don't move around is probably during the meditation, so you don't disturb the people next to you unless you're getting up for a healing. I'd like to have Lisa light the candles symbolizing the unity of body, mind, and spirit to start the service. Please stand for the invocation, and we're going to stand for the first hymn. Dear Father God, we give thanks for this moment here in time. May we enjoy those of like mind around us. May we share hopes and dreams and trust with each other. May we feel your love and your hope and express that through our actions, words, and deeds. May we feel the kindness and peace that comes with that. Amen.
Amen.
I played the guitar all day yesterday for the events here. Stayed up till way late at night, and then almost forgot the time change. Despite all that, we had a nice event here today. I'm so tired of I said, you ever played when you were drunk? Yeah. I said, well, act like you're half drunk, don't act like you're tired. That's an odd thing to say in the church. This portion was the thought for the day, and that's what it's really about, is just enjoying yourself, not harming anybody, but enjoying yourself and following your path. A dream without a plan is just a wish. Make a plan, pursue it, practice it within your religious and ethical beliefs, and love what you do. Doesn't matter what you're doing, love what you do, and feel God's in all of it. Last night I was out at this place called the Cabbage Patch, and it's about a 25 acres place. And there's 3 bandstands there. 2 big ones and 1 little one way out in the middle of nowhere. And this guy got up on that stage. He coming all the way down from South Carolina. And his band got put on this stage way out in the middle of nowhere with nobody around but one little place serving drinks. And that guy got up there and he got an empty whiskey bottle and he started playing his guitar for all he was worth. Him and his band, just every song, every stroke was just absolute, just projecting everything they were worth. Within 30 minutes, the main stages were half empty and people were standing in main fairs around them. Me and my wife were sitting there, we turned around and looked, there must have been 200 people that come up in about 30 minutes. And him and his band were just giving everything they got, every word, every motion on their instruments, just projecting that out there. And they pulled a crowd back there when they were stuck in the middle of nowhere.
Wow.
pulled it away from the main acts, the main stages that everybody did. This was these people doing their best, doing what they felt, just not looking back, not getting down in the mouth. Oh, they stuck us out here in the middle of nowhere. They cranked it up and went at it with everything they had, and the result was there when they were done. And I thought that was really something to see. You know, it was just great to watch people just project that energy out there. So whenever you get handed something like that, you're like, this just is really not fair. Turn it around, see the situation for what it is, and just engage with it and give it everything you got while you're there, and love what you do while you're there, and things will change just miraculously. And I tell you, that was really something to see last night. So I guess the thoughts that I've been having on this week are like that. You know, we get so stuck in the mundane, we get so stuck in the repetitiveness of the daily duties and tasks, that sometimes that's all our life becomes. And we need to just, when that starts happening, stop. Last week I said, go out and buy yourself a present, just for the heck of buying yourself a present. Once a year, have a day that's your day, and go buy you a present. Well, this is something you can do every day. And I talked about this in my class yesterday. I'd ask you to ask yourself 3 questions as you go through the day. Some days, maybe not every day. If you can do it every day, fine. But if not, do it several times a week. Ask yourself the first question, am I being led? And that means by a higher source. The next question is, am I being led well? And the third question I want you to ask yourself is, what is my responsibility to that source? Whatever you believe that source to be, God, divine energy, whatever you, the universal spirit, what is your responsibility to that? And while we all can say we know the answers, when you're in the silence of your own home and you start asking yourself those questions, sometimes the answer is not always yes. Sometimes it's, well, I'm just not too sure today, you know. So just check yourself when you do that. And those are some pretty nice questions to ask, and it really puts your mind on a good track at the beginning of the day. So I thank you for listening and ask you to stand for the next hymn.
Let's do hymn number 9 in the gold pages. I'll Fly Away.
Some glad morning when this life is over, I'll fly away to that home on God's celestial shore. I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away when the shadows of this life have flown. I'll fly away like a bird thrown driven by a storm. I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away. Just a few more weary days and then I'll fly away to a land where joy shall never end. I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away.
All right. I like Ronnie's term for these people over here. That's the amen corner.
I usually like to be quiet
over there. Well, I can be loud. I bring a little over to that
A rock and roll drummer by profession, not like.
It's kind of early for me.
11:30 in the morning.
Yeah, see this time of day. I'm up late.
Too much fun. The next portion of the service is the healing meditation and contact healing. It's like Judy's here. Do we have another healer in the house? How that works, if you're new here, is you just take a seat on the chairs as they come vacant. And Ashkhen will lead us on a guided meditation. If you don't want to have a healing, or if you do, you can enjoy both. When you hear this, that means that if healing chairs become vacant, we have some chairs in the back as well as up here, so you can sit at either one, and I'll move you forward as the healing gets going. So we ask Ashkhen to come up. Prayer for spiritual healing. Ashkhen says to prayer for spiritual healing. She's right, I'm not reading my notes. Please read the prayer for spiritual healing. It's on the board on the back of the manual. I ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from my mind or body and to restore me to perfect health. I ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and I will do my part. I ask this great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help and to restore them to perfect health. I put my trust in the love and power of God.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you hear me back there? Let's get ready for the meditation. Get into a comfortable position to sit, where there is no tension on your physical body. Close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths. Inhale and exhale. Let go of the thoughts that are on your mind. If you have any worries, any concerns at this time, just let it go. With your exhale, breathe it out. Release. Bring your focus and your awareness to your breath. Become aware of your breath. With each inhale and exhale, feel your body relaxing more and more, and your mind becoming more and more quiet. Connect with the rhythm of your breath. And just follow it. Feel your breath taking you to a deeper place within yourself. That feels peaceful, calm, and quiet. Connect with this peaceful space within you. And just breathe. Feel the peaceful sensations flowing along with your breath. Flourishing throughout your body, your mind, your spirit. Embrace this peaceful aspect of your consciousness and be still. Breathe in and out. And be still. For it is in this stillness that you experience wholeness. It is in this stillness and the quietness of your mind you experience the higher aspects of your consciousness. Your higher self, the ultimate state of being. There are no thoughts in this state of consciousness. It is a pure state of being. Embrace this infinite aspect of your consciousness and be. Breathe in and out. Just be in this heightened state of awareness. It is in this heightened state of awareness that you experience oneness. Become aware of this state of your consciousness that seeks the highest good, the highest best for yourself and the highest good of all. Become aware of this mighty presence that is within each one of us. See yourself surrounded with brilliant golden light. Feel your breath connecting you with your heart, the heart chakra that is in the center of your chest. While you breathe in and out, feel your heart chakra expanding and contracting. With each inhale and exhale, your heart chakra opening up like a beautiful lotus with multiple petals. See your heart chakra opening up. And feel God's unconditional love and compassion flowing out of your heart, flowing throughout your body from within and without. Feel God's loving energy embracing you, comforting you, healing you. Feel the warmth and the gentleness of this love energy. God is love, and love is our essence. Feel the presence of God within the core of your heart. God's love is unconditional, compassionate. It is only through love we are able to forgive. And through forgiveness, we are able to heal. Embrace the presence of God within your heart. As you feel yourself healed and uplifted, now think of those who are in need for healing at this time. If you know anyone that is going through hardship, difficulties, direct this pure loving energy from your heart to that individual. See that individual receiving the energy straight through the heart. From within and without. Think of someone you are in conflict with. Anyone that you have difficulty communicating with. Envision that person. Just focus on your heart. Approach that individual through your heart. And send loving energies to that person. Trust in your heart. For there is one true power, the power of love. Feel these loving energies nurturing your mind, your body, your spirit. Surrender to the will of God. With God, all things are possible. Surrender to the will of God. Feel this love energy filling this room. Expanding and extending further out to the universe. Envision Mother Earth and humanity, the animals, the minerals, the plants are all embraced with God's loving energy, in harmony with each other. Feel your connection as one consciousness. We are connected to all God's creation, the creation of love. Feel your connection, where you become one within and with all. And remember, we are one. I am you, and you are me. We are one. And in this unity, we live in harmony, because we are one. We are. Feel the power of this loving energy and the gentleness of this loving energy that is within you and around you always. Become aware and just be the love that you are. Wherever you are, whatever you do, just be your essence, the love that you are. These thoughts, feel your breath. Peaceful breath, bringing you back to the here and now. Engage with your physical senses. When you're ready, you can open your eyes.
Next portion is the inspirational lecture. And today we have Reverend Jonella Bachman here today. A brief background on her, the written background. Jonella is married, has twin sons, a granddaughter, two-time cancer survivor, State Certified Contractor, immediate past area governor of Toastmasters International, and has conducted numerous businesses for the past 34 years. They recently had an educational center in Palm Coast. She's an author, psychic medium, and inspirational speaker. Besides all that, I've known Jonella for, I guess, 10 or 15 years now, at least. We were involved together in Casadega. We bumped into each other on and off when I started this church thought of them to have them come here and lecture. It's been a wonderful time. Like Jonella's lectured here probably 3 or 4 times and been well received and shared a lot of her knowledge and her life's experiences. So this is about her right now, not me. So welcome, Reverend Jonella Bach.
Make sure I know how this works. Happy sunny Sunday. I'm always tickled when it's sunny for the bikers or the racers. You know, if we live here, we have the opportunity to just wait 2 days and it'll be better. We live in Florida and we specifically live in Daytona and it's going to be better in a minute and we're fine with that. But if you're visiting and you want it to be sunny, like anywhere we go to visit, I'm always tickled when it's beautiful for those folks. If you know me very well at all, from me just visiting you, you know that sometimes I think a little backwards compared to society, whatever that means. Today I am going to do exactly that all over again. I'm going to introduce you to some of the thoughts that I've learned that the people around me think are a little bizarre. I must have been that original why or how child. Children do that. Some children do that. Mine didn't do that as much as I remember doing that, but everything was why. And every answer to that why was another why. It's kind of crazy how children do that. But that was me. I couldn't hardly stand not knowing how or why. Now, I want you to know that in that how and why, I didn't go for those extreme sports. I don't know what part of me left that out in life, but I don't need to be that kind of adventuresome. I just want the knowledge. And I love people that do take those things on, but I'm not one of them. But you sit me down in front of a television show about how it's made, or you show me those huge machinery things that have been invented that put our food together in packaging or create something that's just amazing. The simplest things that we take for granted, somebody has invented these huge, beautiful work every day of life. You never see on those shows they have to work on them. It seems like they just poof there. But the truth is, somebody's maintaining those and has the knowledge to put it together. So when the mustard bottle is made, I don't know what made me think of mustard just now, but when the mustard bottle is made and it goes down the line, that the other part of the machine knows how to put the top on it and put the little seal on it so we'll have safety when we get it. It's the most amazing thing in life to me. But everyday life can be a little different than that, can't it? And that's what I want to explore today, is our everyday life. And how can we use that magic and that excitement of that how and that why stuff. Sometimes everyday life can be the biggest adventure of all. We all have busy schedules. We do our chores. We wake up in the morning. We take care of our children. You know, we get our clothes ready. We do all of the parts that have to make life go. We exercise, some of us, or we do yoga, or sometimes we even find time for a vacation. Not as often as I would like. I've always said it's a shame we have to stop and go to work to earn money to go on vacation. I just think that's a shame. And sometimes we don't even know there are other options out there, other questions or more choices. We meet each other and do our best to keep up with what's happening. We take care of our pets and our home and our car. And we try always and always to search for that next little breath that we remember when we were a child, when we could just stop and be. You wake up not one morning and you don't quite know why you didn't sleep as well as usual. It might have been the cat or the dog or the noises outside, or it might have been Bike Week out your window, or it might have been your husband snoring. No, mine doesn't snore. Let me make that perfectly clear. I really had written spouse rather than to take some of that pressure off of him. Not that I do either, of course. But it might have been the dreams or the pain or you're overtired, whatever it is, you're not even sure sometimes why you didn't sleep as well. But truly, that night wasn't that much different than every other night. You go through a perfectly wonderful day, happy and fulfilled, only to find yourself screened by some unassuming person that just comes in and wipes out that day. Or you work really hard to pull out something so magic and so exciting and so creative, and then you're the only one that can really appreciate the magic of it all. Just when you're rolling along in life, it seems like, sure enough, the new Big Bang happens. What is that all about? Well, and doesn't it seem that everyone else around you just really has it together? They know what to say, and they know who to talk to, and they have the right contacts, and they just are great in their job, or they're extremely creative. They know who to turn to, and they know how to encourage each other. Let me help you hear that it's not necessarily how together you have it. It's how good you are at making lemonade for how life hits you. Nobody can see anything from your perspective. It doesn't matter if you're all in the same boat. The truth is, one of us is in the bow and one of us is in the stern of that boat. And nobody can see it from your perspective. Nobody. They're not in your space, in your body, in your mind. They haven't had your experiences. And together, we bring each other such strength. It's the most amazing thing. We have, each of us, that extremely special puzzle piece that makes the universe work. When I was young, my grandmother thought I was going to be the next star on the Lawrence Welk Show. We would race home from church every Sunday night to watch that Lawrence Welk Show. It was the most exciting thing she had. She put me in front of everybody. I would sing a song. Oh my. I would tell a poem in her church or be in a church play. She just thought I was the best. And when I was 3 years old, this obviously started very young, when I was 3 years old, she put me in the parade. And I was the popcorn princess in the popcorn capital of the world in Ridgeway, Illinois. I started out as somebody. I don't know what happened. That was an exciting time. But I did learn that when I was 3, Lawrence Welk was already old. And when I grew up and I started really seeing how life worked, that I didn't really have the talent my grandmother wished I had. And that became a dream that old people had. That the seed had been planted. It was the most exciting thing. While I enjoyed his show, that soon faded for me. And I learned that I probably had other talents waiting for me. I began to hear folks start talking about how they had a purpose in life, and you'll find your purpose. Oh my, that haunted me for years. In fact, Diane Davis from Casadega, one of my mentors, still helps me with what is my purpose at every given turn in life. Don't you have to kind of create a new purpose? Don't you kind of have to tweak it as you go? And sometimes we go through a whole day or a whole week or a month or a year and sometimes even a lifetime, and we never really find our purpose. My heart has broken for years because I always thought that I was meant to do something for the good of mankind, something big. And David has heard me over and over frustrated in our 30 years. David, I just know it's there. I just don't know how to get there. I don't know the path to take. I don't know who to meet. I don't know what to say to somebody so they'll hear that I've got something to give the earth. And one day, I met a gentleman that I really respect. And I told him about that. And he said, Jonella, every breath you take, every time you walk into a room, every time you sit one-on-one with a person that needs you, you're changing the earth. And I thought, there's something to that. You know right now, as all of us feel just like a unit in this room, if somebody walked in that door, the energy in this room would change. And we would shift a little, and we would accept them, and they would give to us in their own little way. We each give to the universe every breath we take, every new thought, every new word. Life surprises. It's amazing. Humor me for a moment. And don't worry about my essential tremor if you see that. But hold your hand out and close your eyes just for a moment for me. Connect through the universe this moment with me. Or the person sitting in front of you. Or the person in your mind's eye. Follow that imaginary line and find your aura literally connecting one soul to another. This moment, this instant. And you can open your eyes. In this moment, let me propose to you that for this space and time, you have found your purpose. When you can reach out and touch another person with the power that is not even earthly. Think about those times. Think about the time when you were so connected with another person, whether it was being in love, which is always magic for any of us, whether it's with somebody that is ill, or your child. Those moments are the most valuable times. Those are your purpose. And I propose today that if you choose to be the person beside you, the person in front of you, me more than you'll ever know, and the person behind you are what you're here for today. You remembered the time change. you found your way here through Bachman. It actually wasn't very busy for us today. All of those parts brought you to this little corner of the world. And we're here for each other. You're here to connect and encourage the people beside you, the people in front of you and behind you. And you have alone the choice for the next person that walks into your path. You can hold them in your heart, in your hands, as if they were a precious treasure, or you can discard them. It's always your choice. I want to encourage you to dance the life you're given, to forget all of that big and powerful stuff that worried me through my 40s. And finally I figured out how to let go of. Dance the life you're given, and don't just enjoy the times that are the flowers, but enjoy all of it, because it's there to teach us. It's there so you can hear what the universe needs you to hear to make you that precious gem. Also know that if you were sent here to fulfill a purpose, that the people that you meet also might be here to fulfill a purpose. There's no one in this room that doesn't have some kind of need. The universe and your God is going to send to you the people that are there to support you and hold you up. Accept them, even if you don't like what they are, or who they are, or what they stand for. Those lessons are as valuable at sometimes as the lessons we can see blatantly. I hope I passed on to my sons as they grew up that the truth is sometimes you learn from people more what you don't want to be than what you do want to be. And that's valuable. For clarification, let's just stop and explore that. It may be that person that took your parking space that you just waited 2 minutes on or 5 minutes for. It may be somebody that comes along and rains on your parade. It's not always easy. No one's here to say it's easy. In fact, I'm not all that wild and wonderful. I'd like to stand up here and tell you I am. But the truth is I'm not. I don't always accept those personalities that come at us. Don't we have people in our life sometimes that they've always said you can choose your friends, but you can't choose your family? And I'm not referring to any of my family or yours. So please know that I'm only using this as an example. But don't you have people in your life that have just such a sharp edge that you wonder, how can I take them for another day without being ugly to them? I have those people. But I've learned if you can love them from the heart, if you can really decide in your lifetime that you want to love them instead of hurting them, it makes it a little easier to cross that bridge when you come to that sharp edge. Treasure every moment that comes your way, even those, because in a minute that moment will escape and a new adventure will come your way. And how about the doctors and the nurses and all the store clerk people? David and I have noticed over the last 2 or 3 years that when we go into a grocery store or when we drive up to a drive-in food center, we try to be nice right up front because they don't always get that. You know, there are people that come into their places that are a little grumpy. So we always try to say, how are you doing today? Some of them will respond back. We've noticed in the last 2 or 3 years that a lot of them are saying, oh, I'm just so tired. I just can't wait till this day is over. Well, I feel like saying sorry, Me too, but make my day good. I do stop and try to make their day better, but I do it selfishly sometimes. I've chosen to do that, and that's really why I do it when I don't feel like doing it back to that person. But what I've learned is that if I can just cheer them up a little bit, they're going to make my day better. I know when I choose to be grumpy, David can vouch, I can be grumpy all day long if I want to. It's not very hard. But if I choose to cheer somebody else up, I'm in choosing that, choosing to make my day better. And just saying, not here. You're not bringing that to my place. My mother used to tell me, if they're talking about me, they're letting someone else rest.
That's a good one.
My mother was actually over 300 pounds all her life. She worked too hard and died too young. But that lesson of all the things that she ever taught me was one of my most valuable lessons. That why not me, can't get me attitude is what I use on a daily basis. I had the opportunity twice in my life, you heard Steve say, to have cancer. And one of my bizarre thoughts is, if statistics say that so many people in life are going to have cancer, and I'm one of those, doesn't that make the statistic go down for someone else maybe? And they're not going to have to endure that adventure? Can't get me. Something will get me someday, but the truth is, you can't get me as long as I'm kicking. And I'm going to battle through it. And I can hold me up, don't you worry. Other than the obvious negative of those times, that actually was some of the biggest blessings that I've ever had. Came from those times in my life. God talks to us all the time. The trick is to learn to listen. Be still and know that I am God. Oh my. It's so hard. Our life is busier all the time. And if it's not busier enough in our own life, we're hearing about the fires in California and the stuff in the Middle East. How can we take care of any of that? How can we be still? It's one of the most difficult things sometimes. But one thing you can always count on is how you feel. Feelings are the language of the soul. Others can try to make you feel bad with their words or their actions, but it's the reaction that usually sticks. Study how you feel constantly and adjust. You have all the power. Hidden in your deepest feelings is your highest truth. Neil Donald Walsh wrote a book called Conversations with God. And in that book he writes, the highest thought is always what thought contains joy. The clearest words are those words which contain truth. The grandest feeling is that feeling which you call love. I believe you are one of the most precious gems of the universe. Born absolutely perfect in every way. Society, or even you sometimes, have taught you that's not necessarily true. We all do have flaws and design problems. We don't all work like those big machines that are filling the mustard jars. But the truth is, we are perfect in our own way. You can choose to dwell on those negatives, or you can choose to enhance your positives. You, as an individual and as a group, can teach me things that not one other person on this earth can. From your experiences, none of them are the same for each of us. And it doesn't matter if you're standing right beside me in the bow of that boat. You still have a different view. I accept you with your warts and your bad hair days and your opinions and your insults. I want you to teach me, and whether I squirm and struggle with that teaching or not, I'm going to learn from you. You can almost count on it. I already did that part. I got excited, and I did that part already. So I'm having to catch up here. From the time you are a thought in your mother's womb, you absolutely begin creating you. And if any of us have ever been there when that newborn was just there, you know that is absolutely the most magical time. I think it's important and difficult to plug back into that all of the time, to that you that you were when you first got here. Just like a flower changes its bloom and changes its energy with every petal that comes, so you are doing that too. Every time you breathe and think and move, you're changing the energy of the universe. I encourage you to choose this day to be the universal you that you've been created to be. Choose this day to be effective rather than effective. Choose this day to embrace the chaos of life and give it back in a powerful, creative way that only you can. And when I say those things, please know, you don't have to change the earth anymore. Just embrace each other and do the best you can every day when you wake up with whatever circumstances you're given. Friday, we had the opportunity to go to the Strawberry Festival. And we stayed the night in a camper of some friends of ours that have worked very hard in their life, and they've got this beautiful new camper. We haven't been able to go camping. Their schedule, our schedule, nothing seemed to mesh. We had one night, we had Friday night that we could go enjoy time with our friends. And sure enough, he got a phone call that his brother-in-law was crossing over in the hospital. Life throws it at you. But the universe took care of us. The truth is, if that had happened Friday, and he had had friends that he had been trying to get to come to spend time with them, he would have been in this little dilemma. The universe, just in that small way, took care of him and said, come on, let's enjoy Friday, and Saturday we'll deal with what we have to deal with. And sure enough, that's just how it fell into place. Tap into your pure angelic genius of you that you were the first moment you came into this world. Remember those moments in life when you connected one with another person in such a way, remember, that it was beyond earthly. Use that force by choice and always for the highest and best of everyone around you. You are just that divine spark that we've been waiting for. set.